Okay, what is up guys, welcome back to another video. Now, I know there was no video yesterday, and up until then I'd had pretty much an upload every single day for a few weeks. I'm sorry, but I actually found some stuff to do, which means I didn't have to be in my room playing. So obviously I went and did that instead. But I'm back again today, and in today's video I want to talk about something that's been on my mind recently. Now, when you join a game and you hold down tab, normally just under half of tab is a bunch of nons playing hunter, shark and cow. So let's say that every game you play, there are 40 people who are completely new to the game and are just giving it a try. And at any given time there's like, what, 6 games being played? So let's say that there's about 120 people every single hour who are trying Mega Walls. That's a lot of people. That's really good. The thing is, they play it once and they don't play it again. That's not so good. But if we have 120 people every hour, about like what, 700 people a day probably, giving Mega Walls a go for the first time, then why is Mega Walls not growing? It's getting a nice influx of new players, but they're just not staying around. And that's why I want to talk a bit about how we can make the game more playable for new players. And I think a lot of it does come down to what the development team can do, but that doesn't mean that we can't help as well as a community. Now, to start off with, I think that it is very unclear what to do for a new player. I honestly think the first time you join Mega Walls, it should bring up a book, it should forcefully open a book that explains what to do in every stage of the game. It doesn't have to be in much detail, because a lot of the game comes down to discovering yourself, but it should say there is a 6-minute long mining phase where you should gather iron and store it in your ender chest, for example. Because at the moment, you sort of go to the Mega Walls hub and there's an instruction wall on the right, but it's extremely vague, no one ever looks at it, and it just doesn't provide any information. Which is why there should be a little tutorial book that just details the 3 parts of the game. Because for a new player, you don't have to live to deathmatch to have fun. You can have a lot of fun just from playing the pre-game and going around seeing all these really cool abilities and stuff in action, and having some fights with other players. And if you don't know to get iron in those first 6 minutes, you cannot have fights. It's just too hard to run around as a level 1 naked player. So that is why, to start off, if we want to grow the community again, we need more detailed, this is how you play the game. Now, this doesn't have to be done with just a book. There are other ways. The staff could make a video that's 5 minutes long and just explains what to do, and that video can be linked in this book. Or when you first join the game, maybe a link can come up in chat saying, hey, here's a video how to play the game. Or in your hotbar, if you're how about when you join a game, part of your kit contains a book, and that book tells you what you should be doing at that point in the game when you right click it. And this book can be disabled in the menu, so if you don't need the book, you know what you're doing, you can just turn it off and it's like nothing's ever changed. Except for new players, they have this book now that says when you right click it, you should be getting iron, you should be defending your wither, whatever. Just telling them how to play the game, because it's really intimidating, and then they die in deathmatch and they have not had a fun experience. Now, along with that, if more people sort of play a few games, they don't just play one game and then never play again, the community does start to build, and then we get up to like 700 players. And if we have 700 players, or 800 or 1000, and the same amount of bee hoppers, then relatively we have a lot less hoppers, which is why it should be encouraged, not discouraged, for new people to start trying the game. Especially if they're all nons, because you cannot stop good players using nons as free finals. That's just how the game has been for years. It's why people found the game fun back in like 2013, because they could spend 20 quid and then they could kill loads of nons easily, and people found that fun. But the thing is, back then, nons also found it fun, because when there's 80 nons in a game, you have people on your level that you can fight. And we want to try and get back to a place that was like that. It's not that Mega Walls isn't attracting people to try in the game, it's just that it's not retaining them. Now, I said that we could do stuff as a community as well, but to be honest, there isn't much we can do. It always helps if you stop being toxic for a second, and if someone in chat doesn't know what to do, instead of making fun of them, actually just tell them what to do. You don't have to sit there and write an essay. You're not staff, you don't need to pretend to be staff or mini-mod, but just giving them a little pointer and saying, hey, why don't you just do this quickly, and helping them grow and get an actual proper experience of the game. Instead of ignoring them, that would help. That's all you have to do as an individual. Just once every 5-6 games, when you see a poor non who asks what to do, just say, go into the mines, get some iron, put it in your ender chest. Honestly though, to start out Mega Walls as a soloist, it's really hard as an individual. I remember my first game, I played with a bunch of friends after watching, I think it was Drone play it, Drone ASF. The guy, the Wookiee guy, and like I played with like 5 people. We all sky-based, did absolute nothing all game. I did not kill a single person. We sat in a sky base and eventually we all fell off it and died somehow. But I found that really fun because it's a really big experience. It's like UHC, but the thing is UHC has more media coverage from YouTubers, so people are more willing to give it a go. Mega Walls has people willing to give it a go, but there's no one to watch who's interested in playing it, and a lot of them are playing solo because it's not even obvious how to play with people, how to find people to play with. There should be more places to look for games instead of guilds, because nons don't know about guilds. When you join Hypixel for the first time, it doesn't say, hey, if you want to find people to play with, go and join a guild, and then you can team invite them in Mega Walls. There's a lot of weird stuff that you just pick up over time, and it's a lot harder to pick up now than it was back then. To be fair, talking about my experience, after that first Skybase game, I didn't play for a while, and then the next time I played was when my friend taught me the game. Basically, he just took me through every stage. We played quite a lot together, and he just explained what to do. He had max hero brine, so even though I was just a level 1 spider or zombie, I still had fun because he was teaching me how to play. And while that's a lot harder to get now, it's not impossible to help new friends play and try the game, but people would rather be in parties of 4 who are really good instead of just trying to have fun with their friends like they used to. Anyway, that's sort of it for this video. I know it's quite short, but hay fever is making it really hard to talk right now, really hard to concentrate, and I keep wanting to sneeze and I can't pronounce words, so I'm gonna have to leave it as a short video. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's possible for the community to grow? I seriously think that the devs just need better introductions to the game, better tutorials. Please, please, please explain to these poor nons how to play. Bed Wars is so much easier to play, and that's why it has so many players. You want to play Bed Wars? Go type Bed Wars into YouTube. Loads of people come up. You can watch them. You understand the game 10 minutes later. You want to play Mega Walls? You type Mega Walls into YouTube. It just comes up with loads of sweats, tryhards, people like me who just upload intense wins and stuff and don't actually upload the mining phase, the pre-game phase, and it just doesn't make it any clearer how to play the game or what's going on. It's like watching League of Legends for the first time. You just don't have a clue who's doing what. But do you think there's a chance for Mega Walls to grow? What do you think needs to happen in order for that to happen? Obviously, if hackers are gone, old players will come back and that will grow the community, but I'm talking about from a fresh perspective, a whole new wave of nons who actually want to stay around and level up their classes. What do you think? Go and comment below. Thank you for watching. See you next time.